Yo, what's good, Adam?
What's up, man?
Are you feeling refreshed from yesterday? CBRC20's newest fan right here.
I went and I swept the floor, man. I swept the floor.
Not gonna lie, I mean, the protocol is pretty cool. I thought the conversation was really well. A little bit of a disagreement, but I guess we all got to stay entertained during this correction, per se.
They'd obviously never heard me speak before, and they didn't understand my joking nature. Maybe got the best of them. And anyway, we move on and talk about what's going on today, man. Lots of good stuff happened today.
Yeah, no kidding. I guess I should probably start doing this in the beginning because a part of that was people didn't realize that Adam and I are talking through Adam, I invited you back on stage, by the way. Adam and I are talking through my mic. We also live stream this. I've pinned it to the top. Also, everyone, please make sure that you retweet the spaces, pin to the top. Join the stage if you want to join this market discussion. We're going to cover everything in all the inscription ecosystems. Some of the larger macro things that are happening, some of the fun stuff that we are all doing. But Adam, glad that you are now alive and well. And I want to say hello to one of our favorite team members, Chris, man. How are you doing this morning?
Yo, doing great. Yesterday there was a ton of energy in the space. It's kind of good. It kind of made people realize like what their pain points were, can kind of see where they kind of got in the mud a little bit. And I feel like everyone left off a little bit clear about what they were offering, what the differences were between CBRC and regular BRC. So actually, I think it was pretty helpful. A ton going on in the markets. We have a ton of token drops coming, some new releases. Even though the market's down per se a little bit, even though it's up gigantic, things feel really healthy. I really like where we're at right now. How are you feeling, Jake?
Yeah, I'm feeling the same way, man. From going into this bull market, I feel a little bit more comfortable now that I'm on the building side. I've never really gone through a bull market as a builder. I've just been a degenerate trader the last two cycles that I've been a part of. So I think some of the apprehension is a little bit lowered here, where you're not forced to literally trade every single thing possible, which just kind of burns you dry. Although sometimes I still do find myself trying to ape into everything possible. But for me now, it's more just building and finding ecosystems that I find interesting, and also that are in relation to Emblem as well, and kind of really dive in there. So it feels like now going into this bull run as well, there's so many ecosystems that exist that it's becoming a little bit more of an echo chamber, a little bit more isolated. But you could really just get lost in one or two ecosystems and not have any idea what's going on the other side.
Bro, it's so hard, and the FOMO is real, man. I mean, even for stuff like farming, which like last cycle I swore off shitcoins, and I swore off farming because I know people got completely wrecked in these protocols that got hacked and all this sort of stuff. So I swore off farming. But then a friend of mine kept pinging me, man, you got to farm this airdrop. This airdrop is going to be sick. It was the Rabby wallet airdrop. I don't even know Rabby wallet, but I was like, they're funded. They got millions of dollars. This is like, there's lots of people using it. Lots of people loving the wallet. I investigated a little. I was like, all right, let's do this, man. I spent like 4 hours one day. I was like, let me get a bunch of wallets. I'll do a ton of transactions. Let's do this, man. What better way could I spend 4 hours? Complete freaking waste of time. Like complete, dude. It was like, guess what? You got 12 points in each of your wall. I don't even know what the point. This wasn't even a token drop. It was points. And I was like, bro, this is like total fail. It just reminded me again. It was like, you're going to miss farming. You're going to miss these airdrops, but you got better ways to spend your time. It was a good reminder. Like, bro, stop it. Stop it. This is not your expertise. Stick to your lane, build Emblem Vault, and get on shows and talk about stuff. Stop it. You're just an idiot. And so it was a good reminder for me at the start of this bull run to not chase this kind of stuff, man, because it was complete waste of time. Completely wrecked.
The Rabby frustrations were all over my timeline about people. The points met is obviously, one of the mega trends. I mean, we saw Magic Eden came out yesterday with their reward system, and also retroactive rewards to 2021. I think is really cool. Magic Eden's really setting themselves up as, really the leading just cross-chain NFT marketplace, which is great for Emblem because that's the vision that Emblem's had for, since 2016, right? So finally seeing that come in full and center is pretty exciting. So we'll touch about that, but going to Rabby, right? They tried to do a point system. Everybody thought they were getting a token. Turns out they're getting points, and now everyone's pissed. Although Rabby I hear is pretty cool because it has some like privacy features in the wallet and stuff, right? Is that what it is? I haven't downloaded it, but I see Vitalik even posting about it.
Yeah, people like it better than MetaMask. Honestly, I didn't find the people say, oh, it's got a nice security feature to it. I did not find it any better than MetaMask, really, realistically. But again, I wasn't using it as like a daily, driver type of thing. So people like the wallet. But bro, it pissed off core users, like the people who have been like literally using it since like last April when it first popped up, like start using it now, And it was a huge, I think it's actually something to be aware of if you are thinking of doing a token drop for how you're doing it. Right. And we can get into the different styles of token drop. And I wonder if this was specifically just, if they're in the US or something and they just did it this way from a legal standpoint, this was just the safest way to do it. But I mean, you talk about just wrecking your users. It just felt really bad, not only on the time. I mean, for me, whatever, I spent a few hours, but there were people who literally spent months doing this, right? And you think about the good airdrops, I don't know, ENS airdrop or some of the other ones, Unisat or Uniswap or whatever, the ones that really hit where it not only empowered and enliven the base, but because that happened, it then spread out to the wider community, like, and just created this awareness, like tsunami. And I think, they completely failed on that level.
Yeah, distribution. We were just talking about this before we started recording or went live. In the attention economy here, right? You can't just have an awesome product without having the marketing channels. But also you can't have an awesome token without the right distribution mechanism. I think this is what was very initially attractive to Bitcoin ordinals was the various types of decentralized mints that you could do, right? First is first. Now you have the NATs. Now we're starting to see airdrops through the RSIC 20 thing that was posted, which we'll probably talk about a little bit. FUD all over the timeline. People are upset about everything. I got interviewed by Decrypt about it. Kind of interesting, but I do want to talk about Magic Eden. But first, before I do that, if you guys are familiar with Emblem Vault, you'll notice a fancy new logo on the Twitter profile picture, as well as the Emblem sales bot. This is kind of the beginning, of the next evolution to, I'm kind of just calling it Emblem V2. As we've gone through this migration process, we've had to really just rebuild the entire ecosystem. We thought it was just going to be a migration. Turns out Shannon had to literally rebuild the entire fucking thing from the ground up. So it's exciting. The symbol that you see there will be emblematic, no pun intended, to Emblem markets. So we're pretty excited for that. We're going to have the first Emblem Town Hall next Thursday. We'll be releasing all information about the finalization of Emblem legacy migration, an update on Emblem markets, Emblem.finance, and some other cool and fancy things that are coming down the pipeline. I'm really, really excited. A lot of big things in store. Today, we announced the addition. You'll see it pinned to the top. 13 new Bitcoin Ordinals collections are live. That is very, very exciting. And so we first started with some of the top Bitcoin ordinal collections. The reason why, even though a lot of these are quite expensive, is Ethereum gas fees are still an issue, and we want to increase the TVL of the ecosystem and onboard high value assets. But also, the high value assets are generally a little bit more appealing to some of the ETH NFT protocols. So if you see at the bottom of that post, it says between these collections, so Bitcoin Apes, Bitcoin DeGods, and I want to note Bitcoin Apes has already been delisted from OpenSea.
And it's gone.
Listed it, but you could go ahead and trade it on LooksRare as well. So Bitcoin Frogs, Bitcoin DeGods, you will see something from the Bitcoin DeGods community soon. So that's a little alpha there. Bitcoin Ordinals generalized collection. This means as long as it's a Bitcoin Ordinals, it can be vaulted. Bitcoin Rocks, Bitcoin Punks, Filthy Fiat, which was the collection we did with Coldy back in, what was that, like April or May? Yeah. He's very excited for that. Mega Punks, Node Monkeys, OCM Dimensions 300, which is Adam's PFP, Ordinal Maxi Biz, Ordinal Punks, and 12-fold, which is Yuka Labs art collection. If you are a fan of ordinals, if there's any other collections that you guys would like to see listed, please, drop a comment, hit that purple button in the bottom right corner. Tell us what you'd like to see. These 13 collections are a great starter. Some of these collections are in our legacy collection, which we will, again, have more information about that next Thursday. So exciting times. You could go ahead and vault that now. But the thing that I noted at the bottom, right, why take these Bitcoin ordinals to Ethereum? Why does that make sense, right? It might not right now as everyone thinks Ethereum's dead. I mean, gas was at 9 last night, right? So there's crazy everywhere. But it's not always going to be that way. And also now, once these collections are supported on Ethereum from Emblem Vault, then you have access to the entire Emblem ecosystem. As we mentioned, Q2 is likely when we will be deploying on ordinals. Then we'll be going to Solana after that, and then all of the Ethereum L2s. And so over time, right, as the market matures and as we go and move into further and deeper down this bull market, there are going to be all types of different things you could do. So for these, right, you want to go borrow against your Bitcoin Rock on Arcade. You could go farm your Node Monkeys on Blur. You could go gamble with your Ordinal Maxi Bizzes on LooksRare, or you could just, hang your 12-folds in your on Cyber Gallery. So a lot of different options there. And, when you move over to Solana, I know there's a lot of other interesting DeFi protocols that can exist. But I do want to pass this over to Chris, who's our in-house Solana degen and expert. What's your take on Magic Eden's retroactive airdrop to 2021 and its cross-chain initiative of cross-chain rewards?
Yeah, first off, I think that one of the simplest features that Emblem offers that Adam would love as well is just storing all of your assets in a single wallet. And so when you're able to go cross-chain with Emblem through all Ordinal, Solana, and everything like that, you can keep everything under one wallet. So your organization can improve tenfold, which is such a simple thing, but it's such an important thing going forward into this industry. Because I know, Adam, everyone else loses their assets all the time. Nobody knows where anything is. As far as Magic Eden, I mean, it's a huge step. Once you launch a token, it offers just even another layer of loyalty to that brand because they're incentivized to continue moving forward. And ETH is struggling in general. ETH NFTs have been doing pretty good, but going forward, OpenSea has so much competition. So if nothing else, I think that it's definitely going to back them into a corner to offer some sort of incentive to kind of give back to their users a bit. But Magic Eden is so important to the ecosystem now, as they have such a strong kind of multi-chain community that they've built out in between Ordinal, Solana, and even a little bit of Ethereum. What do you think so far, Jake?
Yeah, I mean, again, we talked about, the points meta is only going to increase. The fact that they're coming out with tokens and retroactive rewards for 2021 to their Solana communities, it's really exciting. Cross-chain products, is something we've discussed, right? Like Emblem native cross-chain DeFi products, cross-chain NFT products that are, that encapsulate, multiple chains in a single kind of mechanism. I think they're pushing in the right direction. It's really, really exciting to see how the rewards will work. I don't know. I mean, we've seen different type of rewards on Blur, which seems to have done well. LooksRare has not really done as well that I've seen. I see some of these NFT loan platforms are trying to do something similar. And to me, when it comes to rewards, if they just want just rampant speculation, you make it as simple as possible, right? And really straightforward. But if they want to, grow, a devout community, then you want to add some type of, native, mimetic kind of intricacies to it to really kind of have it move forward. I do want to ask, Ordinal Eggs, who we have on stage here, who I invited on. They wanted to share a little bit about their project. Also, if you look at my banner on my profile, they gave me an honorary. So I do want to note that as well. But I wanted to ask their experience on Magic Eden and interacting with Magic Eden as in a sub 10K Ordinal project.
GM Jake, thanks for having us. And again, thank you for using our honorary as your banner. But yeah, we've been with Magic Eden a few months after we launched the eggs, and it's been it's made transacting much easier for people to buy eggs. Again, I'm not sure when you guys got into ordinals, but back in February, there was no marketplace. So we had to, do OTC trades and all that. So of course, we needed something like this, and Magic Eden went above and beyond with what they provided.
Yeah. So back in February, Emblem Vault was how the Bitcoin punks and everything was trading initially when it was OTC during wild times. Chris, go ahead.
Yeah, just kind of a little bit of history too. Magic Eden started on Solana, and then it kind of, it really had like 99% market share overall, and then it kind of started dabbling in all these other ecosystems and put Solana kind of on the back burner, and they kind of basically burned bridges with the entire community as they focused elsewhere, and when they were building ordinals and everything like that, and it kind of spread their development team super thin as well. So instead of having one superstar product, they had like two lackluster products. But over time, they've kind of grown into themselves. And now they've become kind of, they're working backwards and kind of becoming the main kind of NFT marketplace for the entire industry. So this token drop for them is kind of a huge kind of full circle moment where they can give back to the original community that they had within Solana and then build outwards again. And so it's kind of cool to see. And they definitely had their struggling moments where, as of right now, Tensor, their competing marketplace on Solana, probably still has 60, 70% market share. So, but probably after this token drop, it's probably going to tilt towards Magic Eden as the main marketplace for basically the entire industry.
Yeah, so with their ETH NFT marketplace, right? They partnered with Yuga Labs on that. They also teased the Yuga Labs marketplace, the ETH NFT marketplace, in their Monday's video. So and it's going to be creator or royalty focused. I'm interested to see how they do enforce that, right? We've discussed, with Emblem Markets, that's a possibility that we can do as well through vaulting and stuff like that. So I'm going to be watching that to see if it brings morale back to ETH NFTs, because it's horrifically down bad. Although some market activity and Pudgy Penguins is really kind of leading the charge back here, but the ETH NFT ecosystem needs to do something to really bring momentum back, because everyone is moved off to Solana and to Bitcoin ordinals to a degree. So the rewards will be cool. The thing is, how long will that last for? I mean, with Blur's rewards, it's ongoing now for over a year. And you just wonder, like, what happens when the music actually stops? Do people stay? Do they leave? Or do they have a, reward plan for 2-3 years, and then they move past the marketplace and they become something that's much, much larger, which is kind of what it seems like Magic Eden's doing. I see Adam said, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's like, well, following the Blur model, which I think Blur did a actually pretty amazing job, kind of dragging out the end state, and hoping to grab market share. I mean, you see what Magic Eden's doing by being multi-chain. I mean, it's so, always harp on OpenSea, like the missed opportunity by OpenSea is just, it's hard to even fathom how badly they fumbled that bag. They could have been the leader in the entire space, but instead they're locked in this Ethereum ecosystem, which, I mean, there's still stuff moving. I don't know if you saw today, Sotheby's is having another auction for the liquidated items for whatever, 3 arrows or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So those will sell, and it'll be interesting, and we'll get some traction with awareness and stuff like that. But look, there are only so many people who can buy $20,000 NFTs, right? It's like these inexpensive, cheap, trade fun. Maybe I make some money. This is just like gambling stuff. That's where it is today, and it's happening on every chain. And Magic Eden's positioned itself really, really nicely by being actually like multi-chain. And so, good on those guys for reaching out and actually taking that risk, which we know how hard it is to build stuff, to build on multiple chains. Like, to Chris's point, is super hard. Of course, they fumble bags all over the place. You see it with like Ordinal Wallet trying to do the same thing. But the winner in that space is gonna, is gonna have something in theory. If they don't fumble the bag, and it just again gets to this thing where a small team of people can actually just take down these giants. I mean, there is, in this free market environment of crypto, like, anybody you see is like, oh, they'll never, how could they ever lose their position, bro? We've seen it enough. This is like hyper capitalism, and everybody's at risk, so you got to stay on your A game, man.
The megaphones, the accounts is what is really leading the charge. If you got enough, if you have enough combined followers between X amount of accounts, then you will get Y amount of traction, and it's just been proven over and over and over, right? The megaphones, the quote unquote influencers, right? Which is, again, always interesting to me, labeling things as influencers, where it's just like, once you get over 10,000 followers, everyone's like, oh, he's an influencer now. I'm like, I don't really think so, but just look at the way they interact with the accounts and stuff. But with ordinals, the ordinals marketplace war, I should say, has been, to me, the most fascinating thing to follow. Just like going back and forth between what niche do they saturate in? Like Magic Eden's clearly PFPs and flipping, and now is really just taking on any new kind of large mainstream project. Ordinals Wallets really dove into cross-chain ordinals, right? Bells, Doge, and Bitcoin ordinals, but then they niched down even farther. And I was looking through their website the other day, and the top like 5 collections on there that have the most volume in the last 7 days are all tap and bitmap based kind of assets: bitmap, NAT, Gib, etc. So I think that's probably the direction that they're going, right? Until Tap opens up their own marketplace, and then they'll have to probably figure out something else.
Yeah, right. Scramble, man. Just scramble and hustle.
And then you have Unisat, who's just BRC20. But now with, multiple AMMs trying to pop up, they're trying to dethrone Unisat. But at the end of the day, one thing that a lot of people miss is that the infrastructure that these marketplaces provide is what really keeps them in business. Like OpenSea, a lot of people forget OpenSea runs Seaport, which is literally what all of these marketplaces operate on. I don't know if Magic Eden does specifically, but I know literally everybody else does. And so these marketplaces can't exist without OpenSea. If OpenSea goes down, then the entire ecosystem goes down. So they're not going away. They've probably now just shifted more to like this B2B kind of focus for now, while they let the retail facing end kind of be consumed, or let other marketplaces really fight it out. But it's the same thing here with Unisat. They have the central indexer, right? They basically bodied Domo and said, we're taking control of this protocol now. And he reneged on it. The Unisat's in control. And so they control what happens with BRC20, right? So they even if they lose market activity to Omnisat, right, or to whatever, to Ordinal's wallet or whatever marketplace comes up, they still have the indexer. They still got the central authority. With that, if Unisat goes down, the entire BRC20 market ecosystem will go down. So that's just like something that tends to get overlooked, because when you're not playing the back end kind of things, you don't really look at that. You just look at market volume. It's like, oh, they have the most market volume, so therefore they are the leader. But that is generally not the case at all.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. And most people, we dive into it every day, so we generally understand what's happening. But most people who are in the space, they don't think about it, man. Just number go up, number go down. Which way's number going? Like, it's just the most superficial level, which is fine. Like, that's what retail's going to do. But it is interesting, these games that are taking place behind the scenes. And I listened to Domo was on a space today talking about it, how it all kind of went down a little bit. It's fascinating, how this all works. But these are decentralized systems, at least at, trying to be, and how these battles are fought and won. Like, we'll talk about, this is history, man. It's incredible.
Yeah, that it actually is. I do want to give Ordinal Eggs, 5 to 10 minutes to explain and give it a little 411 on a project. I think it's notable to say that, anything that's sub 10K on Ordinals has, some foundational value. But it's interesting to see now, like with RSIC, where they're taking these sub 10K assets and then using that as the parent inscription to then release their companion projects. I believe this is what Femojis had done. This is recently with RSIC, and I think it's only going to continue. And so from what my understanding, Ordinal's Eggs is doing something similar. So just give us the 411 on what you guys are looking into.
Yeah, sure. So actually, this collection is not parent-child. It's something we are looking into in the future, possibly. But this, we have a 10K collection coming out now called Mother Cluckers, which for us basically is just, we started off as eggs back in February. Now, almost 1 year later, it's time for us to hatch into, these cute little chicks and continue our in Ordinals that way, while also increasing the size of our community and, onboarding people from different chains and whatnot. But that's our main focus with this collection, is to, just grow our community and give people a connection to, somewhat the sub 10K OGs in the space. We want to keep providing value that way.
The Mother Cluckers, that's with Derp, right? Derp's the
yes.
on your team?
Yes, Derp has been great with his, we're introducing some new tech where you can click on the Ordinal to open up the trade console. I want to stress again, people have been asking, you can play around with the traits and see the different traits on the Clucker, but your Ordinal will not change. It's just to play around with the traits, kind of fun, have fun with it and all that. Also, we were able to use recursion to provide a night and day effect. In daytime, the background is brighter with the sun moving across the screen as time goes on. At nighttime, the background dims and there's a moon that, goes across the screen the same way. Also, we were able to significantly reduce file size to, I believe it's 120 bytes. Average, from what I hear nowadays, is around 600 bytes. So we're looking to, reduce inscription costs and all that way, while also providing, these ordinals for anyone and everyone at the cost of $7.77. We also want to keep it cheap. Again, we want to build our community as a space to provide value, with different connections and giving whitelists and all that. But, we want to keep it cheap so that anybody can join.
So I have ord.io pulled up here, and you can see that in the image itself, because everything is on ord.io only allows on-chain things to display here, so you can actually customize your Mother Clucker. I actually did not know that, so this is actually kind of neat and novel. But also want to note that Derp is a friend of the show. He's been on our show multiple times. He's been with us since Adam and I, at least since the historical NFT community with .og. And he tends to work on projects that introduce new types of technology, right? With .og, I think he built something for the Lineage domains. He also
online websites, like fully on-chain websites.
Yeah, he built the SRC 721 standard, which is being utilized now across all the Bitcoin stamps ecosystem. So he's a pretty talented guy.
Yep, he's awesome.
So that is pretty cool. Yeah. So is there so when is the mint? Do you guys have any details on this?
We're still finalizing the date, but hopefully within the next couple of weeks. Just we ask people to keep an eye on our X profile or join the Discord for any announcement on that. Right now, we recently just announced the price and holder distribution. But yeah, we'll be announcing a mint date and the launch pad very soon. And we're very close to launching, basically.
So tell me when it launches, like if I go to the website to mint one of these or inscribe one, do I basically then I pick the kind of traits and stuff like that and then click inscribe, or is it inscribe and I get something random? How's that going to work?
Yeah, it's going to be a random blind mint. It's going to be completely random what you get, but after that is when you can just click on the ordinal that you get to play around with the traits.
Gotcha.
Customization, man. We were doing this with Mooncats 3 years ago.
Yep.
On chain. That was fun. The thing I'll note though with on-chain accessories or on-chain customization, like CanPy Pandas is doing this in a lot. Although novel and super cool in terms of like if you're just speculating on value, the market does not seem to favor that as like a value increase. I don't know why, Adam. Why do you think that is?
People are weird, but honestly, actually, I think it gets more to like the core monkey mind, which is just like if my avatar looks like this, I want the same avatar. I don't want it. We just want the most simple, basic thing. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's just kind of the way we work. Like anytime you haven't changed your PFP in a while, but anytime I change my PFP, bro, it's like, what do you do? How could you do that? It's like, dude, the idea of like changing things, people don't really like that to some degree. All of us kind of have this idea. We want the same thing always. So yeah, it's a challenge. I think we're in early stages, but it's too smart. Yeah.
And since Chepe says it's too smart.
Too smart. People, literally, we've seen it like with all this stuff. I don't know, with bells or, this has been the most recent one for me where it's like, well, I'm just like, yo, this is stupid. It's 2013 tech. It's dumb. And people are like, fuck, tell me more. This sounds amazing. The dumber it is, the stupider it is. The Bitcoin puppet model, which is just like, these are the dumbest, ugliest things ever. I want 20 of them, because it's just the dumb meta. People love that shit.
Yeah. So, dude, congrats to you guys. We'll be following it along as well. And I got my honorary, so I'm a mother clucker, to say the least. Moving on, across the ecosystems with Magic Eden, they also teased that they will be launching a Dogecoin ordinals section, or at least the person who's in charge of the business development is, or at least trolling everyone, but she put Doge ordinals, and there was definitely a price increase on Doji because of that. I think it's kind of inevitable. Looking across the ecosystems, I even put this tweet out earlier today. Again, also a little bit of FUD, but on my end, I'm also getting attacked, Adam. I'm like you yesterday. I think 3 days in a row, people are getting mad at me for certain things that I'm saying, even though they're kind of general information. We're seeing this. We're seeing a few things happen. First, Gate.io came out yesterday. They added an entire DRC20 section. It has all the tokens you can inscribe. They partnered with Very Doge Labs and are using their infrastructure. So if you go on Gate.io and click on their DRC20 section, it'll have all the tickers there. It'll has a button that says inscribe, and it takes you directly to Doge Labs website with like the Explorer and everything. So cool partnership there. I know OKX is also working on their DRC20 support. They've announced this. There's DRC20 has been added to CoinGecko and all these kind of coin tracking things. I think it's probably inevitable. I'm going to be obviously Ordinal's wallet has Doge support as well. I'm kind of interested to see if Unisat uh, ends up deviating outside of Bitcoin and adds Doginals because they are, at least what they've said, funded by Binance, right? So if Binance is adding it, it's going to have to come down that pipeline at some point in time. I think it's inevitable. We're now seeing everything that's happening on Bitcoin ordinals is making its way to Doge. The first one through the door was Pipe on Doge. Somebody did Dipe, which they're having indexing issues, which we'll talk about that in a second. Dogecoin Rocks came out and said that they're building runes, Doge runes, a few weeks ago. From what I hear, the person behind Dogecoin Rocks is actually like a pretty based dev. That's actually like quite popular in the Bitcoin developer ecosystem. So that's something to pay attention to. I was not familiar with the name, but apparently it's very experienced developer behind that. Ordifind came out and said that they're building atomicals on Dogecoin. And actually one of the, I don't know if he's here, one of the atomicals guys came out and said that atomicals was built in a way to where it can be applied to any UTXO chain pretty quickly. So they built that out of the box. And then today, a project, or I guess they announced like a week ago, but I found it today. BMP, which was like a free token claim for bitmap holders. Somebody's trying to do that on Dogecoin, on Doge maps. And I posted about it, and it seemed like a bunch of people got upset for some reason. I don't know, moral police or whatever the case is, I guess.
What are they saying? You're trying to pump BMP or whatever or something? Or what do they say?
I commented and I said, I think the token's called like DMPC. I was like, it's DMPC on Doge maps. And they're like, this isn't Doge map related. And I was comments and said, you have to own Doge maps to claim this token. So obviously this is Doge maps related. And the Doge map accounts was like, this isn't Doge map related. And I was like, are you trying to differ your account from that? I was like, if Doge maps, the Twitter account is different than Doge map, the asset, then sure. And they were just being moral police. They're like, well, Doggy Market and Ordifind's not part of this either. I was like, I never said that they were. And then they were like, this isn't the native token. I was like, I also never said that. I don't know. And it's a free claim. So I don't know. DYOR, which is also in the post. They said that I'm getting people wrecked. I also said DYR. I don't know. Whatever it is. People are just upset. So I don't know. I just found it interesting because people are just taking what's on Bitcoin and applying it over. Somebody also said or showed me a Git book that they had written for NATs on Doge. They're called DNATs, I think. So, right. So everything that's happening over there is happening here. And to me, I think Dogecoin or Doginals is now sitting alongside Ethscriptions as probably the number 2 marketplace or number 2 inscription ecosystem. They're both kind of neck and neck, in my opinion. Although Ethereum has 10 times the market cap of Dogecoin. It's hanging in there. And I saw Facet Swap for Ethscriptions actually got added inside the OKX wallet, which
wow, really?
That was really cool. Yeah, right. So like basically, for those that aren't familiar, Facet Swap is kind of like the Uniswap for Ethscriptions. Facet is run by Tom, who created Ethscriptions, Tom and Michael. And it got added into OKX wallet, just like with MetaMask, you can swap Ethereum and there's a swap module in there. So now they can do that with OKX, which is pretty cool. Meta says Ethscriptions will flip ordinals. Ooh, that'll
be the day. Let's go.
And that this brings up like an interesting point. And also, right, I'm a core contributor at Omnisat. I've been in it for a while. Omnisat will be integrated into a few wallets as well. And again, this comes to like backend infrastructure. What I realized is the way to get your swap tool integrated into these other wallets and other platforms is something called a router. The router is basically what tracks the price history and the liquidity flow. It's similar to like OpenSea Seaport, which does NFT tracking and stuff. This is what they do for swaps. And so if you have that router and you get other marketplaces and other wallets that are integrating it, then you basically become, the de facto leader, B2B kind of side of things. Similar like with Chainlink's Oracle, right? Once everyone starts pinging to the Oracle, it doesn't matter what the price of the token does because now the entire ecosystem is dependent on you. 2 ways to look at it. So that was a big step for for the eScriptions team of getting that added into OKX wallet, which also shows me that wallets are kind of moving into two different things, at least web extension wallets. They're either moving to cross-chain, like Magic Eden's doing, where you have all of your tokens in one spot, or they're kind of focusing on DeFi applications inside of the wallet experience. Those are kind of the two segments that I've seen. So it's something kind of interesting to follow.
I'm just wondering, like, from like, okay, if I want to position myself, like I have Doggy up right now in the marketplace, and I've heard, people are tweeting, and I've seen a lot of stuff like tons of wash trading, because I guess it's very inexpensive to trade, or near free on the marketplace, and so tons of wash trading. Totally, don't doubt it, right? And I see Doggy. Okay, it's at $1.61 or something. But what's the thing when you think about it? It's like, what's the thing if we get a bull run and we get new people in the space? Because right now we're just all feeding off each other, right? And it's on 20 different chains, and this is happening everywhere. What's going to be the thing that, that next 20 million, 30 million, 50 million people who come in this space go, oh, that's the thing I need to do, right? And I think we've talked about it a bunch, like Doge, and by because it's on that chain, Doggy, have that potential that, like, oh, this could actually happen, because those people could learn, and it might get a wallet integration, or might get something where it's super easy, and that could happen. Like that's a real possibility. But it's really challenging to try and pick the things that are going to, win in the next bull cycle. I mean, all of these basically have won already, right? Like Doggy, I don't know what it costs to inscribe these things, but I'm assuming it was near zero, right? To inscribe.
It's quite cheap. It is quite cheap. Yeah.
So even if it was a penny, right? Or if it was 10 cents, you're still up 16x, right? Which that's at 10 cents. And I know it wasn't 10 cents, right? It was probably a penny. So you're up 160% already, right? So you get all those people still need to dump or dump out, right? And so you wonder, I don't know. It's at $33 million market cap right now. Could that go to $1 billion? Like, absolutely. It could go to 2 billion. It could go to 5 billion, right? But it also could go back down to 7 million, right? So I don't know. I don't know how to play it, man. I'm really, this was the one where I was like, I didn't get in on the ground floor, but at this floor, I'm like
interested.
I'm feeling that FOMO, man. I'm feeling it now for sure.
To me, it seems inevitable. I mean, you also have Elon backing it. Once Doge is integrated into X payments, I don't think it'll be initially, but eventually. He's already talking about doing it for tipping. I think the Dogenals ecosystem will become a little bit more attractive. You'll see a big flow. We're starting to see a major 2021 ETH NFT project called the Doge Pound. It was really popular in 2021. Said that they're collabing with Doge Labs, and they're going to do a collection drop. This is similar to what we're seeing on Bitcoin ordinals, where DGods, right, ETH NFT collection, but originally Solana did their collection there. I think Oniforce is now doing one on Bitcoin ordinals. So you're seeing, that the companion collections moving to these other chains. You don't see that on eScriptions. You don't see that on Bitcoin stamps. So to me, that is like the biggest signifier. It's actual new capital coming into the ecosystem, right? If excuse me, if Doge Pound has a large following and a large community, that is new capital coming into the Dogecoin ecosystem from Ethereum. And that to me is a huge sign. That is a huge positive sign. And so we'll see this probably continue. I would be interested if you see a Bitcoin ordinals collection come in and do a companion drop on Dogecoin. I mean, I know the champions of the other worldly did their card drop there. That's a trading card game, but I'm talking like identity type PFP. Seems inevitable. Doge Punks seems like, the easy layup to do. But I guess we'll really see what happened. But I'm pretty bullish on it. And I think Doge DeFi is quite attractive. I'm seeing some people try to build some swap tools. We just saw Doom. Somebody, the mini Doge team, inscribed Doom onto Dogecoin, and it was actually on CoinDesk today. It was like a major article on CoinDesk.
Yeah.
I guess this was like the actual full original version of Doom. I guess the one that was inscribed on Bitcoin in the early days was not the original one, or it was like a modified version of it or something like that. So I was reading the article. So if you can, and Doom was a 5 megs or 6 megs, which I thought there was a byte limit. So I don't really know how they did this. I think mini Doge worked with a miner because Dogecoin has irregular block sizes. So if you collaborate in that way, you're not you're not privy to the limit, I guess, in a sense. I don't know. It's a little bit above my head in terms of Doge mining.
Yep.
But people are experimenting, man, and that is to me just a very, very bullish sign. What will determine if it succeeds or not is the transactions per block. The farthest we've seen so far, at least the highest I've seen, was the Dipe mint, which was pipe on Dogecoin. You can see my tweet. I was literally sitting there watching.
Yeah,
one block had 5,000 transactions, and Dogecoin did not go down. To me, that is insane. That there's no other blockchain that's really doing that. That's pushing that kind of transactions right now.
Yeah.
Outside of maybe Solana, in essence, but from a proof of work chain, that was. And then there was like a 4,000 block right after transaction block right after. And if it can nail tipping and gaming and metaverse, Dogecoin to $2, not $1.
Bro, is Dogecoin the people's money?
I think so, man. I think so. Just
it's very possible. It's got this inflationary aspect to it, but other than that, it's as long as you wrap your head around that, But then you think about it, and again, I'm talking myself into the damn Doji buy. It's like Doji becomes the hard money of Dogecoin.
It's true. I mean,
how crazy is that, man? It's literally insane, which makes me want to do it even more, bro.
I recommend just buying a little bit and going in. The other token I like is FIWB. Fuck it, we bark. More so because I believe Doge Labs is the one who inscribed it. It was a decentralized mint or deployed it. And Gate and OKX came out and said that it's going to be used for DeFi applications. So I think I would compare that to Sats, where like Unisat owns Sats. They're the biggest inscriber. They're the biggest owner.
Yep.
I would assume this is what Doge Labs is doing the same thing as well. But, to be determined. But on the sense of, up and coming things, Litecoin ordinals might be coming back from the dead. I don't know if you've been following this, but I've been, I've been pretty I've advocated for Litecoin ordinals for a while, more so because it's $5 billion in market cap just sitting there. And if you're playing this, if you're just looking at the value between the market cap of the proof of work chain and the overall market cap of the ordinal ecosystem, like with Bitcoin, you're sitting at, I don't know what it is. What is it? $800 or $900 billion, and it has a $5 billion ordinal market cap. Dogecoin's at 10 billion or 11 billion and has $100 million market cap. So you could say at Litecoin at 5 billion, if it had a functional ecosystem, just, the market cap should be sitting around 40 million or so. So there's going to be a lot of catch up. So Chicken Market is one that popped up. It looks like Doggy Market. Doggy Market came out and said that they are not affiliated with this. And then Chicken Market came out and said that their devs actually forked the front end of Doggy Market somehow. They said that they have based devs. So whatever that means, there's, again, right, it looks exactly the same as Doggy Market. You got the light maps, you got the PFPs, and LTC20 still getting fixed. The original dev, or the dev, Anthony, who's the one who forked Ordcore, built a new indexer. There was a lot of issues around LTC20 and Light. I don't know if anyone knows the story, but the summarized version of it is there was a marketplace called UniLit that was the first to market to trade LTC20s. They improperly indexed, and they were allowing users to trade empty transfer inscriptions. So people were trading these transfer inscriptions, but being credited a balance of Light. So what they did is they, on their own, did a snapshot of the holdings of Light, which is the top token, before all of those transfer inscriptions were being traded around, and then airdropped Light and created basically their own indexer. And then ultimately Unilit rugged and just disappeared. And so now you can only trade Light on Gate, but Gate is using LightScribe's API. LightScribe can barely even keep a functional wallet. It's a horrible experience, to say the least, but it works maybe 50% of the time. So we need
50% of the time, it works 100% of the time, baby.
And so Gate is using like LightScribe's API, I guess. They're the only one that has a Litecoin Ordinals API. And it's a bad situation, but it's getting better. From what I hear, the LTC20 situation will be fixed in the next few weeks. They're working with Gate right now to get that all properly fixed. So where that stands, I don't know. I think once the LTC20 comes back online, you'll probably see market activity flow as long as they could get a functional wallet. But the other marketplace that popped up is called ordinals.fun. And I was talking with this guy, I DM'd him because this, you could see, obviously this person put a lot of effort into this. This doesn't look like any other marketplace. This developer said that he built it on his own and took 3 months to build this. And I was talking with Luke. Luke is kind of Luke, who's also working with Adam on Bell's Coin or help bring it back. He's kind of like our, I guess you'd say, UTXO dev expertise that we lean on.
Yep.
He told me that building on Litecoin is actually tougher than building on Bitcoin because of the additional complexities of Litecoin with like Mimblewimble and some of these other ones. So it actually takes longer to build these types of infrastructure. Wow. So this guy built it for 3 months. You can see it has NFTs, right? The interface looks pretty cool. It has LTC20 outside of Lite, so you could go and like inscribe your own LTC20. And he has some other functionalities on there with like light maps and stuff. So it does feel like Litecoin is somewhat on its way back again, right? Still needs some work. But
dude, infrastructure is everything, right? I mean, it's one of the amazing things that's happened with Ordinals is that this infrastructure built up, very quickly, relatively. And now everybody has the roadmap, but that doesn't mean you still don't have to put in the work. I mean, even with like the DRC20s and Doge, it's like it almost still feels like there's really like one team like doing that. And if that team really went away, it'd be like, oh boy, well, what happens now, right? And Litecoin, I don't know. I don't fully understand why LTC is so difficult. I understand there's like mess ups in the past. Actually, I'm interested. That makes me interested in like, oh, what's that trading at? Is that, has that come down
it's trading at like a $1 million market cap right now on Gate.
Is it really? Okay.
Yeah.
See, that's very exciting to me. Although still not as exciting as Doge, I'll be honest. Doge has that like, it's just Doge is Doge, right?
Yeah.
I mean, look, attention. The world knows about Doge, right?
5 million holders too.
Yeah.
5 million holders.
If I went to my brother and said, hey, man, what do you think about Litecoin? And be like, what the hell is that? Did that just launch? Like, he would have no idea what Litecoin is, right? But he knows Doge, right? So Doge has made that impact where something that layers on top of it, it just feels like that has a bigger opportunity.
Yeah, with Litecoin, right? It does have brand value, definitely in the industry. And also it's one of those tokens that's just listed on all central exchanges as well. Like people know Litecoin, maybe not the average normal person, but if you've gone on Coinbase, right? The first 3 tokens listed was Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum. Yep. You're familiar with it. It's like that safe play. It's a commodity. It's right, free and fair mint. So it'll always be around. To me, it's just interesting because first it has Mimblewimble, and Pensive, who's watching the live stream, brought this up to me, and I tweeted about it yesterday. Mimblewimble is a privacy layer. It's very similar. It has some differences, but it's very similar to a CoinJoin built into Litecoin, right? So a CoinJoin, if you're not familiar, it's a Bitcoin privacy tool where you can basically obfuscate the transactional history or the ownership history of where it's going. So you can have these private transactions. If you combine Mimblewimble with LTC20, you could essentially just have private token layer, private fungible token layer on Litecoin, which to me is quite attractive. I don't know how it actually will integrate with an accounting-based system like LTC20 versus something like UTXO-based, right? Like what Runes is supposed to be. But I don't know. That to me seems like a very attractive marketplace, right? Because Monero has been delisted from all these centralized marketplaces. Litecoin will not be delisted. And I would be very surprised if they delisted Litecoin because it had this privacy token layer on top of it. But to me, that just sounds like a massive opportunity, to say the very least. So
I mean, you think about it, I never check this stuff, but here we are checking it. It's like the top 100 cryptos, right? And like Doge is number 9, right? Doge is 9, Litecoin's 18, Shiba Inu's 17. Attention, man. It's about attention. Shit, I'm gonna go buy some Doji today, man.
Do it. There we go. We onboarded him. What's going on with Bellinals? So what's give us a market update on Bellinals. It seems pretty attractive. I saw there was a 10K that's now trading, and our friends over at Hell's Bells seem to have had some success, at least on the initial mint.
Yeah.
What's there?
Definitely the vibe is at or near free. That's what people want. You know, and so I think, you know, there was one in there the other day where the guy's selling them for, you know, $3 to $3, you know, 15 bells, something like that. So that's kind of where it is right now. People are still inscribing like crazy, you know, the first token, which is Nook. But as we've talked about before, it's going to require 100 million inscriptions to get that like fully minted out. But there are obviously people who are just max minting. Like I don't even know. I didn't even check, but it was at like 23 or 24 million inscriptions the other day.
That means that's at like 25% almost.
Yeah, it's basically at 25% minted, which is like bonkers. And the chain, like we are very much, just to give the transparent, like what's happening, we're very much in discussions to try and do merge mining. So merge mining, for people who don't know, is basically it would allow bells to use basically the system that Dogecoin or Litecoin uses, where miners can mine multiple chains at the same time. So basically, and the simplest way is they're guessing a number for multiple chains at the same time. So if they win the block, they either win they might win a Doge block or they might win a Bells block, and they can kind of do this both at the same time, which will secure the network for infinity. But it takes away this kind of incentive to actually mine bells right now, which right now there's a lot of competing, not a lot, but there are multiple competing kind of pools going for bells. If we take that away and just make it merge mining, basically it makes it free. Not free, but basically, you know, it just allows these kind of well-established giant miners to just mine all the bells, which takes away incentive for small groups to continue mining. So we're trying to figure that out right now, and we're in discussions with some larger mining kind of organizations to try and figure this out in a way that, you know, doesn't completely kill the small miner right now. And so it may happen after kind of one of these epochs, you know, when the mining reward gets cut, it may happen after that, where we finally go to full merge mining. But right now, like what's actually happening on like a level of like mining is that the difficulty and the miners within the actual who are actually mining is so in flux that the chain will literally like not produce a block for half an hour or an hour or 2 hours. Like it'll go through all these wild swings where we'll have 250,000 pending transactions and a block not getting mined for an hour. And so it's a shit show, would be how I describe it.
Still running.
But it's still running, man. And so, you know, trying to get it just to live. That's the strategy for the next year. Try to get it to live. And within a year, the actual rewards get kind of just chopped in like way down. So basically it'll be 1 million bell per year after that in miner rewards, which basically flattens the number of bell tokens. And then I think then we'll actually understand like what bell token is worth, and who knows, man. So it's crazy town right now. That's where bells is right now. It's crazy town.
It's exciting. We are also working on something too from the Emblem side, so it'll be exciting. A big collaboration, hopefully. It's been a tough over the last month to build something.
Heavy lift, man.
It's been a heavy lift, but it feels like it's alpha, I guess. It's finally on its last leg, so hopefully we can introduce that there. In the comments, somebody noted, I forgot to say that there is now CDRC20, and it's called Nord, right? So CBRC20 we had on the show yesterday. Somebody over the weekend, I believe it was on Sunday, did CBRC20 on Dogecoin. So
have them come on stage. Let me fund the bags.
Yeah.
Wait, how do they know? So they know the indexer. So is it still like, is it set on CDRC20 or what? Is it like?
So I was supposed to bring this up earlier, right? So Track is moving into Doginals. I have a private chat with them, right? Emblem and Track does. And they'd reach out to me just when they first announced that they're moving in just to kind of get a lay of the land. They also just hired a Doginal expert. I don't see him in the crowd, but you could see it's in his bio. I forgot what his Twitter handle is. And they're working on the indexer right now. I don't want to give away too much of what they're working on, but they are actively working on it. Like they're definitely working on it probably right now. They're in the process, track is, of scaling the company, right? They just had a $3 million raise. So as we know, Emblem, it takes a little while to onboard new team members, get them, integrated into the culture, and also to uh, integrate them into the back end development, right? We just brought on Swapna, who was a senior engineer at Coinbase for 5 years, and even a month in, still trying to learn some of the back end kind of infrastructure. So it takes a lot of time. I would say probably 2-3 months until some real lay of the land, until some real kind of indexing development happens. But why I'm getting at this is Dipe, when it minted, the guy had a locally run indexer. So he created the indexer just on his computer. Now, a month in, he said it was going to take 2 days to mint. Now, a month in, he still has not produced this indexer for people to trade Dipe safely. Same thing with CBRC20. This person said that he has a locally run indexer, but has not produced this decentralized one. And this is what Track does, right? So Track basically comes in with this decentralized indexing software to where they can run it, where they run the indexer, but you can use their endpoint to pull the information so you can essentially validate it as well. Yep. So this is kind of like the issue that DeFi on Doge, I guess, is running into, is these people who are new to the ecosystem, maybe are newer builders, right? Maybe they haven't really had their chance or opportunity to come into an ecosystem and build something. So now they're going through those builder kind of woes, and it's taking a lot longer. One thing I've learned: never put a time limit on or an ETA on development. It never hits, never ever hits. Ever. I don't care who you are. Even Magic Eden said that they were going to have their Yuga Labs ETH NFT marketplace out in December. It's almost February now; it's still not out. Development is just so tough to time and put an ETA on. Yep, but I think so. The whole point of this is once Track finally comes in and they finish what they're doing, you'll just be able to use their indexer, and you'll see a lot of these just come online probably quite quickly, unless these people come out and do it on their own. But from what I've seen now, they're a month in, and they're still having a hard time with it. I think it has to do with Dogecoin's consistent block reorgs, which I think causes a lot of issues. And Doge Labs has come out and said this as well.
Yeah, it's really hard. I do know that from experience with Bells, that it reorgs all the time. And challenges, man. This stuff's hard, dude. Period. Full stop. Hard.
And one final topic about reorgs. I put this tweet out yesterday about Casey. Casey's a madman, dude. Bitcoin is Casey shitcoin casino. It's not just ordinals. At the halving. So think about this. At the halving at Block, what is it? 840,000, I think, because halving's every 210,000 blocks. Miners are going to be attempting to mine the 4th ever epic sat, which is probably, if you're just looking at market activity, I think rare sats, or the quote unquote rare version of rare sats, we're selling for like 3 Bitcoin. So epic sat, the 4th one, you could say, worth somewhere in the 6 figures, maybe even 7 figures. So miners are just going to, put as much computation towards this to mine. Yep. And then on the other side, the retail and so you call it, say, retail and creator side is going to be throwing as much capital as possible to try to become the first, or etch the first runes token, right? With like RSIC, who now has pretty big treasury to do this. I assume you're probably going to see multiple other teams try to run the RSIC 20 playbook and create a project in anticipation of becoming the first mint. Again, I don't agree with the marketing behind RSIC 20, but I do think the project is pretty cool. So you're gonna have degens spending an insane amount of capital trying to etch this token, and then miners trying to come in and mine this 4th epic sat. You're saying millions of dollars on the table here around these few blocks.
Yeah, it's gonna be
somebody in my comment has said that what's going to happen is there's just going to be an insane amount of block reorgs, and it's probably going to cause a lot of issues. But
those miners, if I've learned anything, those miners are savages, like savages. They will do anything to win those blocks, man, like literally anything. And so, I don't know what they do, but I know that they will, like Charlie. We need to get Charlie up here to see what he's going to do. And there's going to be all sorts of battles taking place amongst miners to try and, win those blocks, put in transactions, mix. I mean, Jesus, it's somebody's going to write a whole story just about what happens with that like one block. It's going to be crazy, dude. Like literally crazy.
I think this will probably be the best stress test that Bitcoin's had in a while, probably since the Bitcoin Cash fork, in my opinion. Maybe outside of some of the upgrades, like the Taproot upgrade and stuff. But I would not be surprised if you see over 1,000 sats per view. I would not be surprised at all around that time if that happens. People will throw everything possible. If you're saying that it's possible that if you if you etch the first runes token, your value of your project just 10x's, right? You will throw whatever capital. Or if this one block is potentially worth $500,000, right? You will allocate whatever energy and resources towards that. So something to watch for. It's gonna be interesting. Does it break Bitcoin? Does it take an hour? Does it take an hour for the block to confirm? I mean, we saw this yesterday with the commoners mint, where it was bring your own rare sats, which was kind of interesting. There wasn't a block that was mined for like an hour because there was so many stuffed into this one block. So like, what does that look like on Bitcoin?
Maybe this becomes like the longest block in Bitcoin's history. Like maybe it takes 2 hours to mine it or something, with all the competition. It's going to be so exciting. We're going to live stream. We should live stream the whole thing for sure.
That would be fun. Yeah, I'm down to do that. That'll be a fun time, depending on what time that happens. But again, Casey turning just Bitcoin into this giant game of game theory. It's kind of fun, honestly. I give him shit in terms of like his leadership style, but man, the guy is a genius.
Who knew it was going to end up here? I guarantee you he didn't know. Well, maybe he did know, but I don't think he knew. I do not think he knew that this was going to be where this ended up. But here we are, man.
We are
shitcoin again. We're bringing Bitcoin back to its roots, baby.
And man, there's a lot of capital, right? A lot of capital being thrown around. RSIC is now up to like $1,500 after being free airdropped. I think the guy from the Wizard Cult, I forget what his name is, just did like a $15 million Wizard hat mint or whatever the hell it's called. Capital's flying. Oni Force is coming out over here. I think this only continues to go up, although there's going to be probably a lull in terms of like price action until runes, which was something I said in December. But to be determined. It'll be fun. We'll probably wrap it up here. Tomorrow we actually have a really big show. If you're interested in Counterparty, I don't know if you guys heard, but the original creator of Counterparty is back. He's now on the GitHub repository, and they put a post out yesterday of a little bit of their roadmap for Counterparty moving forward. It seems pretty exciting. They're going to get it really back up to speed. His name is Adam. I will not say his last name because I will butcher it. This will be his first interview in 9 years. So his first and his return to Counterparty after a 9-year hiatus. So I'm excited to see what he has to say. Why, Adam? What's the big question? Do we just ask him what happened? Do we just put it like straightforward?
Oh, bro. Actually, I'd love to know because so often in crypto, like what you and I just experienced over the last day or whatever, you get used to it. We're hardened, right? We're okay with taking some crap, but I know like every developer, if you're building anything in this space, you are going to get shit. And I'm interested to know if that was the reason why he left. I'm interested to see if that was the reason. So it's gonna be cool.
Yeah, I mean anything from J-Dog sentiment, right? He was fucking over it. And Counterparty would not be where it is today without J-Dog. But he had to basically force the community's hand to get it out from under him so that he could go build his own projects, which is, it's not a situation you want, but it was effective.
Yep.
And so now Adam is back at the helm with Joe and with JP Jansen and one of the other co-founders. I know there's 3 Counterparty co-founders. 2 of them are back. Adam will be on the show. So we'll get all the information there, man. With one final thing, I'm going to pass over to Chris, man. Any final words, anything to look out for? I just saw that Solana just announced token extensions, which we didn't even cover, but give us a final comment on the day.
Yeah, for sure. I think just it's going to be a big 2 weeks. Solana's launching a couple of huge airdrops. Jupiter, they're the #1 DEX in the whole ecosystem. they're supposed to be airdropping around 700 to $1 billion to the ecosystem. So major coming up around February 2nd. That's leading into the Magic Eden airdrop. So back to back there.
Oh my
And,
Jesus.
and then Tensor just announced yesterday that their airdrop was coming imminently as well, I'm sure, in response to Magic Edens. So we have Jupiter coming up at, I think that's the 28th, Magic Eden set for around February 2nd, and then Tensor imminently, whatever that means. So it's 3 major airdrops to kind of, stimulate the whole little crypto economy that we have here. That's like a couple Michael Saylors right there. So huge developments just in our tiny ecosystem. So a lot of that will spill over to Bitcoin ordinals, maybe some ETH NFTs too. We're in a good spot. Things are pretty comfy, but I think that this is kind of like the final lull going into kind of, finish out Q2, and the rest of the year should be looking pretty bright. But I mean, look how many ecosystems we have flourishing. Like, you're talking about an actual ecosystem on Doge. Like, that was like unfathomable.
Totally.
Like 2 years ago, and then you have Solana flourishing over here. You have people even on Atom, not Atom on stage, but actual Atom, Cosmos, but just like, we have to have a ton of new people in this ecosystem that we didn't have before, because before we could barely even sustain Bitcoin and Ethereum by themselves.
100%.
Crypto's in a good spot. I think we're all pretty excited about the future of it. Emblem's in an incredible spot. The developments that we have coming up there, next level. My final question to Jake or Adam is, win points.
Fuck points, man. Fuck points. Points are bullshit, dude. I need a token.
Yeah. We would never, but everyone else seems to love them. So
Dude,
love or hate them, right?
It'd be interesting. We have discussed something similar of that nature. We just got to get the technology a little bit further. One thing I actually wanted to add was numbering of the vaults, just like inscription numbers, but doing it for vaults, I thought was just like a simple kind of add. I'm excited for
that's cool.
Yeah, I'm excited to share next Thursday during the town hall. Kind of, we'll be able to hopefully give a little bit of a walkthrough for the new front end, give a little bit of a walkthrough through Emblem Markets, at least the MVP, and then some of the other things that are coming. Today, again, if you guys didn't hear, we announced today the support for 13 Bitcoin ordinal collections, everything from Node Monkeys, Bitcoin Punks, Bitcoin Rocks, all of the top collections, OCM Dimensions. You can now vault them on using Emblem Vault and take them to Ethereum. But again, this gives you access to, once we deploy on Solana, once we deploy on the L2s, once we deploy on Bitcoin ordinals, this makes them all interchangeable, right? So we'll be deploying on Bitcoin ordinals tentatively in Q2. We have actually a launch partner for when we deploy on Bitcoin ordinals, also tentative, but a big one that might catch a lot of people by surprise. I'm actually really excited to deploy on Solana. I've intentionally not really gone into the ecosystem, because once we deploy there, I really just want to really be blown away by everything.
Right.
So I'm excited for that. I think like what'll end up happening is people will probably take their Bitcoin ordinals to Solana to go participate in Jupiter and these different Ponzi's that are going on over there. Right? I mean, it's cheap. It's again, and at the end of the day, it's fast, it's cheap, it's efficient, right? The issue right now with vaulting is a lot of people don't want to pay the $20 gas fee, which I don't blame them, honestly. So, but Emblem and Ethereum is kind of just like the HQ for Emblem. It is you can't dismiss the innovation and technological kind of frontier that exists on Ethereum. So that's where the home base is. But once we deploy and land everywhere else, dude, interchangeable assets everywhere. So exciting times. Hold on. Mr. Rock Toshi is coming on stage. Man, you've been on fire the last few weeks. What's good, bro? You there? I think I added him. It says a speaker, right?
You got your mic's muted, man.
Yeah.
When can we expect the rocks on Solana, bro? Can we bring them over to Solana? Dude, it's going to be so awesome, man. I can't wait, dude.
I just want to confirm that I'm not having a nightmare.
You are awake, my man.
Solana.
Rocks on Solana, yeah.
Bro, you can't. Are you kidding me? If you brought you can bring them right now to Ethereum. access
Oh
some of that
no,
liquidity.
no, stop, please.
But when it's time to bring him to Solana, bro, and all that airdrop money, bro, there's going to be so much money floating around on Solana that people are going to be looking for homes for, bro, to be able to bring the fucking legendary ordinals collection over there. Get out of here.
How are you going, Adam? Hey, like, this probably pumps my bags, to be honest, but like it kind of terrifies me as well. Like for me, ordinals is one of the coolest things. Is it's on chain, and it's not, there's no smart contract or risk surrounding that, and it's not centralized relative to like Ethereum, or more specifically Emblem Vault. And that's no shade on you guys. Like, I think in terms of the vaults, you guys are like, as far of the ones I know of, you guys are the best one. And I've, like, to be honest, I've used Emblem Vaults with Pepe's from Counterparty. And then I think OpenSea banned them or something, didn't they? I don't know what
certain ones. Yeah, if you had a Basquiat or some others, yeah, they took some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so specific ones?
It's specific.
DMCA'd, the ones that get DMCA'd for like copyright
So lame.
infringement.
Yeah, that sucks. No, because they're so cool. I love the Pepes that have like fine art references and stuff like that. But no, like, good luck with it, guys. And yeah, just wanted to pop in and say hi. I personally would like I feel like I don't know how to like respond. Like, if a holder asks me like, what should I do about a vault? Because like there's a lot of liquidity, on other chains, and that probably helps from a market perspective. But like the idea of like a Bitcoin rock sitting in an Emblem vault and being sold on OpenSea is just like, it's like you've created ordinals so that you can go bridge it back to ETH and sell it as an NFT.
I would say it's more along lines of like importing value. So today, I don't know if you heard it, we added support for Bitcoin rocks and node monkeys, so you could go take those collections and go take the value to one of these other chains, whatever you want to do. So big ups to the collections there.
Yeah, I get it from a liquidity perspective. I think it's a creative. But anyway, cool. I don't want to like crash your party or anything. So
it's all good, man. The way I would look at it, I know Jake is more about the value, and that is the real reason people will bring it across chains. But there is this other thing, which is metaverse and social interactions and stuff like that. So if I have a Bitcoin rock, right, and this is a very valuable, ordinal, but I want to go in my metaverse on Solana, whatever the next metaverse on Solana, because it'll probably happen on Solana or a similar chain where stuff is really cheap, to be able to bring my Bitcoin, rock over there is like an awesome flex. And so keep that in mind. Just something, a little Web3 thing, which, we don't get much of in the ordinals landscape, but this stuff's happening, and that ability to do that kind of stuff is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's interesting. It might take me a while to get my head around this, but like, yeah, I can like imagine like a rock goes to Solana, then it goes to Ethereum, then it comes back home.
There you go, man.
Yeah,
there you go.
It's a fun time. Right. Rock Toshi, I got one question for you, man. Feel free to answer this.
Only one?
One. I mean, I could ask a bunch, but it's probably what a lot of people are interested in. What do you think of the rumors, man? Are you the person also behind Node Monkeys and behind RSIC20? Are you Node Toshi and whatever the other person is for RSIC20? I don't know. Are you the puppet master?
Everyone, I'm genuinely impressed in like the amount of like respect and what's the word? No, like people say a lot of things about me, and like it feels from my perspective like about 25% of them are true. I don't really interact publicly that much, and I just like doing my own thing and like shipping projects and art and stuff like that. So like maybe I need to hire a comms person or something. maybe not my strongest suit. I'm not sure.
Well, if you are the one behind all of those, I might even be enticed to leave Emblem for that opportunity.
Yeah, well, still,
I don't know if I can afford. Who said that? Was that Adam?
That's Adam. That's Adam, man. That's me.
Afford you, dude. But like, we could talk. Um, that might be a longer conversation for another day, but like great to talk to you, and I'm gonna have to dip because I've got a phone call coming in. But peace.
No problem, man. Would love to have you on some point in time. We could talk through all of it. You're in the headlines, whether anything that in that question is true or not. If you are the person behind all of it, man, you're absolutely just raking in the dough and crushing it. Everyone's fading you, but you're doing a good job. I think RSIC 20 is a pretty cool idea. The marketing behind it, I don't agree with, but the idea of it is pretty sick. So I'll DM you and maybe we can have a conversation in a few weeks. Would you be down for that?
Yeah. Peace.
All right, peace.
Thanks,
See
man.
you, man. Cool. Well, that was a fun surprise as we were wrapping it up. So here first, we'll have Rock Toshi on a few weeks from now. We could put it all to rest, and maybe he'll put his comms person. Maybe we'll have a comms person by then.
Dude, I mean, you think, well, this is the funny thing is that people who can generate those kind of hype, right? They don't even need comms people because they are naturally, they impact people's wallets. And that is the most powerful thing in crypto. If you are able to create value for people like this, boy, they will be your mouth. They are your mouthpiece for you. You actually don't need a comms person. So that's the genius. And we've all seen it, like the domination of the timeline, whether it's controversy or what. I mean, airdrop people money. It's incredible. Like the amount of attention that was generated, over the last week. It's incredible.
Well, you guys heard it here first. Rock Toshi is a approver of Emblem Vault. He has used it. He approves it. Maybe Solana rocks are coming sometime in the future. But again, tomorrow we're having the Counterparty co-founder on. First interview in 90 years, as he tells me in the DMs. I put 7 just because I wasn't really sure. In the future, we're going to have Rock Toshi on. Hopefully, that would be a cool conversation. Point blank. He didn't answer the question, though. I'm just going to throw that out there. He did not answer the question. But, being put on the spot like that also sucks. So we'll see how that goes at some point in the future. But again, appreciate everyone for joining. And we will see you Thursday, tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Until then, stay safe and don't get wrecked.